Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today I'll look back at Wave 17's U.S.S. Thunderchild. This is an Akira class, and I was a big fan of the Akira class when I first saw it in Star Trek First Contact. And, my hope amongst all hopes when it was first announced for Attack Wing was, ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good warship. This is going to be a thing that we used to take on the Borg, and well, it didn't quite live up to that hope. It does have some things going for it. It's got 4 attack dice, it's got 5 hull, it's got 3 shields, it's got 2 evade dice, and 2 evade dice is nice, but it lacks a tech slot. And Federation ships depend on technology to be better. Also, only having 1 crew slot hurts a lot because you really need 2 crew slots, maybe even 3, to really maximize what a Fed ship can do. The named ability here: each time you defend, if you take no damage from an attack, you may immediately roll 1 attack die. A hit or a crit result damages the attacking ship. This is a defensive ability by nature, but the slots don't really pick up that opportunity to be defensive. Weapon slots are offensive in nature. So you're looking at this, at least I look at this and I go, okay, gunboat. Something I'm putting on torpedoes, I'm putting on any kind of secondary weapon, and I'm gunning for bear. But then I get an ability that's like, hey, if I take nothing, I get to hurt you back. It's like, oh, everything that I don't like about Sirna Kolrami is now in a named ship ability. It's expensive. It just doesn't quite work. And if I do happen to take no damage from an attack, I have a 50-50 of hurting you back. See, the best thing I can think to do with this ship is run something like Rudolph Ransom and just take an evade. And put Riker in the crew slot. Okay, that's fine, but is that great? No, not at all. Or maybe I bring in like core and use my action so that other ships have to attack me. Then I at least have a chance of each time I defend. I have multiple opportunities for this to happen. But again, that doesn't feel right. So I've given the Thunderchild a lot of talk here. Next week, you'll hear Tristan and myself rank our Akiras, so I won't fully spoil the Thunderchild's ranking, but you can surmise that I'm not the biggest fan of it. The maneuver dial here is fine. 3 come about as red makes sense, but it maxing out at a 4 straight just feels sluggish, and I don't fully understand. I think a modern ship in terms of next gen DS9 era should be going to 5. That's just where I'm at with it. Generics down at 21 points, but we see generic Akiras having another slot, and this being a crew double weapon, again, feels like it got the short end of the design. Now, Hayes is a captain, and granted, he is an admiral, but we'll talk about him as a captain. Action: all friendly ships within range 1 of your ship gain +1 attack die this round, +2 attack dice against Borg ships. Very thematic. My problem is he needed to help himself. And the fact that he doesn't help himself is crazy to me. He is a worse, more situational version of Denatra. Granted, he has the potential to be better, but it's mission specific, it's situational specific. And even then, you're spending an action, so is that really better? I don't think so. Shanty is skill 4, talent slot 2 points. I like these things. I don't love skill 4, but I like 2 points for a talent slot. Skill 4 is okay. An action target a ship at range 1 to 2. When attacking that ship this round, you may re-roll all of your blank results once. In addition, if the target ship's cloaked, immediately flip the cloak token to its red side. She is Romulan troublemaker, Klingon troublemaker. She gets to deal with those cloaked ships, and I like her for what she does. I think I like her better as an admiral, but I don't mind her as a captain. And both her and Hayes are kind of part of this admirals in Next Gen that were actually decent people, that you didn't hate their guts the moment they showed up on screen, and they got good cards in attack wing, and I appreciate the connection there. So Hayes as an admiral feels better than the captain because at least I can put him on a meaningful ship and then use a support ship to activate his ability. Although even now, support ships tend to be combat oriented, so I still struggle with him. Shanty as an admiral feels better, I think, because I'm not stuck with a skill 4 captain. Not that 4 is terrible, but it feels like if I'm bringing 4, I'm bringing the low. Whereas 5, other people are probably going to have 5s, maybe, potentially. Also, this kind of lets me pick and choose. If I have a high skill captain, now I can potentially deal with somebody's cloak token after they've cloaked. And I can use a good ship to get a passive target lock and deal with cloak at the same time. Persistence is a talent that should have been better. When you attack with your primary weapon during the roll attack dice step, if you roll a hit or crit result on each one of your dice, you may discard this card to roll 2 additional dice or 4 additional dice against Borg ships. You add all hit and crit results from the additional dice to your total, and any blank or battle stations are not added. Again, it seems fine, except it's one time, and the odds are you're adding 1 additional hit, 2 additional hits, maybe more, but it's 5 points. And there are cards that guarantee you extra damage for cheaper. And when cards do similar effects for cheaper, I have a hard time liking it. Plus, you don't have to have the situation of the original condition rolling all hits or crits. That can be a really tough scenario to pull off. A lot of luck goes into that, and I feel like it's not needed. And instead of something that should be fun, adding in a lot of extra dice, it says, hey, way too much has to happen, way too much has to go right, and if it does, you get to win more. Federation Task Force is a card that has some play. For 5 points action, discard this card to target up to 2 friendly ships within range 1 to 2. Your ship and the target ships may immediately perform a free action. A target lock is a free action if possible. This can be useful to to get a bunch of target locks. Um, and especially to get 3 free target locks. It can be a great setup for your torpedo boat ships, because now they've got target lock and then they've got battle station quality. It can set up one of the new Akiras because they can like move their target lock over to somebody else. This is a cool setup. I feel like 5's just a little steep for it. Again, because it's an action and it's a one-time effect. I do like that I'm getting 3 actions with it. So in a swarm fleet, like a saber swarm fleet, I'm willing to take a look at it. Whereas I didn't used to be because it was really expensive and the action discard. But I like that torpedoes are becoming more viable. Thus, I need target locks. I think this card might see a tiny bit of a resurgence. Again, it's not great, but I think it does have situations where it can be good. Intercept, another talent. This is just a heavy talent pack. If a friendly ship within range 1 of your ship is attacked, and your ship is also in the attacking ship's firing arc, you may discard this card to force the attacking ship to perform its attack against your ship instead of the target ship. After the attack is complete, you may perform an additional green maneuver. It seems really expensive for 5 points. The additional maneuver is nice. Covering for another ship is nice. But this feels like it's trying to be too much. I would rather be able to just cover my friendly ship at range 1 and have that be like a 3-point ability. I'd rather be able to just take an attack and then get to do an additional green maneuver after I get attacked for like 3 points. But to do both is even more situational. And I don't know that I want to pay 5 points to do that. Then we have quantum torpedoes. We have the time token version of quantum torpedoes. And these are fine, except they're super expensive. They're 6 points for only 5 dice. And if you hit, you add a hit result. You do get to fire forward or rear arc, but new quantums are better. The Alliance quantums are better. And I can't bring myself to run these. Photon torpedoes got made better, so we're going to skip them. Rapid Reload is a card that does get play, is still part of some fun shenanigans builds. It counts as either a crew, a tech, or a weapon upgrade. And when you're instructed to place time tokens on one of your weapon upgrades, you may disable this card to place only one time token instead of the required amount. So, yes, it's a disable. It's paying tomorrow for cool stuff today and tomorrow. But the fact that you get to pull off your weapons 2 turns in a row instead of only 1 turn really helps with this card. And if you combo it with like Arsenal, then you're getting 3 turns in a row. And Rapid Reload's pretty cheap, which helps a lot in that regard. I think that's the big key, is that cheap cards make the combos work nicely. It's not the best card out there, but again, it's kind of a, well, I want to do it one more time. I want to fire my weapon one more time. So what's another card that lets me do it? Rapid Reload. And when you have that out there, you get to fire your torpedo one more time after one time token, and it works, and it works quite nicely. Also, if a card ever comes out that says place 4 time tokens or 5 time tokens or 6 time tokens, Rapid Reload will be the go-to card because you get to disable it and you place only 1 time token, and that will save you a whole lot of turns. So, yeah, Thunderchild, kind of a kind of a weird pack. I think it's one that's worth it because of the other cards: Rapid Reload, uh, Federation Task Force, Shanty, Haze, and the Thunderchild. I still hold out hope that someday we'll either get a new version of it, or there's some magic card that comes out that makes the Thunderchild even better. But I like this pack. I think if you have a chance to pick it up, it's worth doing. There's enough good stuff around here that's fun to build, interesting to build with, and gives you some different ideas. So check it out if you can, and play around. I think you'll have a good time with it, and go forth and have some fun. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care, everyone.